When did you make your first 1 million?
I made my first 1 million. Same year I was settled.
How old were you then when you made your first 1 million?
25 years.
So currently now with this your current achievement, what can you say is the most amount of money in this business that you've made in 1 month?
40, 50, I'm sure.
In a year you can cover up at like 500 million in a year.
The turnout can be.
What line of business are you in?
We're into automobile dealership and papers dealership.
At what point did you have your first big break in this business?
It's a year later, because I bought my first car 2016.
How long have you been in business?
21 years.
What are some of the biggest mistakes you see young boys doing these days that is costing them?
It's much about.
If you have to start all over again, what would be your first move?
My first move will be to.
Now you have been in Lagos and Lagos doing business for many years now.
Yeah.
Do you think Lagos is favorable to you as in business?
Actually.
Welcome to SelahMeditate. This is a special series of SelahMeditate podcast tagged SelahMeditate Street Business Credibility SBC. This is a series where we meet real entrepreneurs on the streets, in their stores, in the kiosk, in the offices, successful multi-millionaires and billionaire entrepreneurs, and uncover their secrets to building wealth 1 naira at a time. I remain your host, Benzik. Come with me and let's go get them. What line of business are you in?
We're into automobile dealership and papers dealership.
How long have you been in business?
21 years.
Wow.
I joined through my father's shop.
Okay, started from your father's
Yeah,
shop.
I started officially on my own for like the past 10 years.
Okay,
Yeah,
that means
that's it.
you serve your own father.
I work with my father. I don't serve my father. Yeah, I work with my father.
For how many years?
Before just like 6-7 years.
6-7 years.
Yes.
So he's the one that settled you.
Yeah, sure.
How much did he settle you with?
700,000.
What year was that?
2015. I joined the business at 2003. That was after my common entrance exam. But then it's like a kind of a part-time thing whereby after school I join up. Then after my secondary school I have to officially join up.
And then started with 700,000.
That is the official money
the
they
official
gave
money
me.
they
Yeah.
gave you.
But
That
not
was-
just that, now.
That was 2015.
2015,
So
yes.
what and what again did he give me that you used to start?
It's the business idea. That's the most important
Business
thing.
idea.
Yeah. The environment. I'm well known there.
So you are the one that started with 700,000 and then
Yes.
got your shop for yourself.
Yeah, sure,
And used it to
sure.
start.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So at 2015 that
Yeah.
you started officially, at
Yeah.
what point did you have your first big break in this business?
It's a year later, because I bought my first car 2016.
You started with 700,000 in 2015.
Yeah.
By 2016, you bought your first car.
Yeah,
So
sure,
does that
sure.
mean it's from that 2016 that you made your first 1 million? Or when did you make your first 1 million in business?
I made my first 1 million. Same year I was settled because I started January 2016. So by that 2016, November, I was able to buy my first car, Mercedes 350, 2008 model.
How old were you then when you made your first 1 million?
25 years.
So currently now with this your current achievement, what can you say is the most amount of money in this business that you've made in 1 month?
40, 50 and
40-50 million in 1
Yeah,
month. So that means
sure.
in a year you can cover up at like 500 million in a year.
the turnout, total turnout and this thing can be, but not that you will see that money on your, because every other commodities here has its own capital on it. Yeah. So that is how the thing works.
So that means would you say now at this moment that you are a billionaire or multimillionaire?
No, not yet. I'm just a millionaire.
You are just a
Yeah,
multimillionaire.
just multi. Yeah.
At what point did you break away from poverty?
To be honest, I don't think I was born in poverty because all through primary, secondary school, there was never a day anybody have to ask me to go home and get my school fees. It's being paid beforehand. So with that alone, and I'm coming from that family where everybody is business oriented, father, mother, brothers, everyone. I won't say I'm into that, although I saw poverty, I know what poverty is all about, but not that much.
So at this point in time now, what's the biggest lesson you learn in business?
Consistency
Consistency.
and sincerity, that's all. During the long run, because you don't expect to just buy a commodity, sell it tomorrow. No. Most will be with you for months, some for years. But when you are consistent in it, you know that you are going through the life path. Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake you made in business?
Most times not making decisions. So when it's warranted, taking time to make decisions. Well, most deals are not there waiting for you. Before you make that decision, trying to shake, before you make that decision, sometimes it's already late.
What are the top reasons that keep people poor in life?
Living beyond your limits, not knowing the necessities. You are going for the unnecessary things. It's a kind of trying to make people see you like you've made it, when you know for sure you've not made it. That's the biggest mistake you'll ever make as a businessman. People are there, they are watching. Most of them, the problems they have, you have more than that. But They will always bring their problems to you.
Yeah.
I have this, and you try to solve it. How many of them can you solve?
What's the mindset shift that can help anyone succeed in business?
Know where you are going to. Like have a target. Like set your sight on that big goals. Don't always look down on yourself. Then hard work, sincerity, and consistency. By God's grace, you're gonna be there.
Have you ever been broke before? As in this business, has there been any big challenge that has set you down backward before?
Definitely, but not that much. When I had an accident, it's a car of like 15 million. I bought it from America, shipped it in. Then after every other thing, for the car to go to the car stand, I had an accident with it, and it's a big loss to me. But that doesn't take me down.
What are some of the biggest mistakes you see young boys doing these days that is costing them?
It's much about showing off. That's all.
Much about showing off.
Showing off, yeah. Living beyond your means. Yeah.
How were you able to manage yourself from 700,000 to have this very massive place and go to this massive event?
Managing myself, it wasn't that easy because as a young boy growing up, you have to make your mistakes.
Yes.
Like mostly. Like when I bought down my first Benz, I wasn't supposed to buy it. Back then, Toyota Camry 07 to 08 was 1.8 million. Well, I spent approximately 4 point something million on my Benz. And if I have invested that money, it would have been a huge profit for me. But then I wanted people to know that even after I sold that one, I have to buy another Benz. That was C300. Around that time, C300 was like 4 million, 4.2 million. But then Camry is still around there, 2 million, 2.2 million. But I just bought that, manage myself, then build more for the upcoming ones. You don't have to do that because all those people that are letting, they are not letting you for anything. You don't get any medal for it. They are only just there to see from you, you know, what they get from you. They will hype you, so you buy drink. They hype you, so you throw money in clubs. The girls will come around because they knew that you have a comfortable place for them. You have that luxury car, they can snap pictures, stuff like that. But if you can lay low, build an empire, then the world will know about you.
So now, if there's somebody that is thinking of starting this line of business, what would be your best advice for that person?
You start as small as you can. Don't look up on people that have already made it. Just start as small as you can. With God and your hard work, you can get there. It only takes time.
If you have to start all over again, what would be your first move?
My first move will be I'll still start the way I start, but I will amend some things.
Like,
I stay away from the public. I live just not that isolated life, but I do my things my own self. Till I get to that level, I don't need to announce my life out to the world. They need to know by themselves, not me announcing it to them.
Now you have been in Ladiko and Lagos doing business for many years now.
Yeah.
Do you think Lagos is favorable to you as in business?
It's favorable, but actually I have branches in Aba, and I'm still looking out to open one in Abuja.
You have in Aba and Lagos here. Which of them is big?
We don't normally compare it that way because I'm here presently, and my presence matters here. Over there is just the boys managing the business. The one I'm planning opening in Abuja is just the boys that will manage. So I visit them. So my presence matters, and my presence contributes a lot immensely to the development and the building of any business you are doing. The boys cannot manage it the way I will manage it, so I will not compare them. They are all doing well on their own scales.
At what point do you think somebody is ready to expand, to have branches and other places?
I won't say for sure because what works for me may not work for you. Most people may have money to expand. They will choose to invest it in other things. Just like me, before I go into my car dealership business, still the same money most of my friends will invest in real estate. Maybe get their first home in Lagos. It's still the same money that I have to send out to America. Before you know, I have to have my account on Copart where I buy the car myself. I ship with my company's name. Understand? So what works for you may not work for me actually. If you build your own capacity and you know what is best for you, what you are lacking, what you need to do in your own business. As for me, as somebody who is into hybrid cars and semi-electric, understand, it's a business that I needed to expand beyond Lagos because Nigerians are getting to know about hybrid cars. Most of them are even scared of it. Most people are like, when they hear hybrid, it gives a lot of problem. But no, that's why we are here. You see some commodities, these are the battery. These are most of the engines, they are hybrid engines. So that's why I feel like I need to expand. And it's just that we don't have a government to protect the interests of the common man, like we traders. If not, we would have gone higher. Like having a station where we can charge the battery for people, refurbish it, And those materials are there outside, but most of them are costing like approximately 300 and something million. So it's not something you can just go get. So if I have that capacity, I will still go more further.
Now, what are the biggest challenges you face operating or running this kind of business?
I would say it's our government.
The government?
Yes.
Wow, explain what?
But when I started this business, we can get stuff like this, just like 100,000. But line and before you get it, it's like 500,000. When I started my car business as far back as 2020, I blamed my first RAV4. The total clearing fee was 800 and something naira, thereabout. The total clearing fee. And I have to go to Apapa to drove the car down to where I was living myself. But right now, I'm getting such a RAV4, 2008 model. It costs you millions. So the government doesn't really care about us, we the traders. Because in other places, you heard about reducing costs. For here in Nigeria, we always heard about increasing costs, which doesn't help.
Okay, now finally, there's someone that you're watching now and is thinking, what would be your best advice to that person that wants to go into any business?
My advice for the person is just start it.
Just start it.
Don't wait. Start. Yeah. Start. Be sincere. Consistency. You will get there.
Be sincere.
Yeah. That's all. You get there. God is with you. Yeah. Thank you.
What's your name?
I'm Emeka.
Emeka.
Yeah. CEO of Donje P. CEO of Global Resources Limited. Yeah, we're just managing life.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So that's what street business credibility looks like. You've heard from this successful entrepreneur on how he was able to build his wealth. And if this episode inspired you, do well to hit the subscribe button, like this video, share it with those who this is going to inspire. I remain your very host, Benzik, and make sure you turn on your post notification because this is going to be a regular series we're going to keep dropping to recover virtually every area where successful people are building businesses and get their secrets on how they built their wealth so that you can also learn and build your own wealth without any fluff. It's going to be raw, direct, and straight to the facts to teach you so that you also can become successful in your own area of influence. So I remain your host, Benzik, and I'm catch you again next time. Cheers.